Can you believe this? Jasmy, as of right now, is doing absolutely amazing. Well, of course, hypothetically, it is believable because it is happening, much like I predicted, by the way. So I must say I did a pretty good call on that. But even still, despite that, some people may think that, oh yeah, Jasmy can't grow any further, but I disagree with that. I think better days are ahead. The trajectory is looking so amazing. And so much so, right, to the point that Jasmy, as of right now, going to the price of $1, which is still my price prediction for Jasmy during this bull run, hypothetically, not financial advice. Again, that's only around a 19x from here. Let's say for simplicity's sake, that's a 20x. I mean, caralho, porra. This is how amazing Jasmy has done. When I was talking about Jasmy back in early 2023, everyone thought it was caca. They thought it was a meme coin, basically, even worse than that, because they're like, oh, this meme coin's going to do better. And now granted, has Jasmy been the best performing project as of late? No, but then it's heading in the right direction, in my opinion. And some people like to think that $1 is this crazy pipe dream, but I just disagree with that. Considering current circulating supply market cap at that point would be around $50 billion. BNB over doubled this back in 2021, and Dogecoin exceeded this market cap by over $30 billion back in, again, 2021. So I don't think this is too much to ask for. Again, Jasmy has done so well to the point that, I had a friend, right, who contacted his girlfriend's boyfriend's grandma and was saying, wow, I can't believe Lee the Captain made such a good call on this. But you know what? Hypothetically, I can't say I told you so, even though maybe I told you so. But here's the thing as well. I've been saying throughout this whole time that the narrative for decentralized data storage is going to come in a massive way. I've been saying this throughout this whole time because I just didn't see why it wouldn't. Because, of course, this market at first glance is a little bit boring. It's a little bit caca. I get it, in terms of the perspective. But if you actually take a look at the pure fundamentals of something like, decentralized data storage, this is just revolutionary. A lot of data storage nowadays, very centralized, right? Typically controlled by a single entity. Usually there's these multiple single points of failures. And I think that people just don't really like that, at least in some cases, which I've seen. So, of course, something like Jasmy does come in and save the day, right? So that right there is amazing. Now, adoption for Jasmy isn't going to happen in a mass scale in the next 6 months to a year, but who really cares? Because during a fully fledged bull run, people don't really care about that. Now, this is, of course, going to matter in like 10 years' time or like 5 years' time, but as of right now, people don't really care. During a fully fledged bull run, people care about one thing and one thing only, in my opinion, and that's hypothetical upside. So when it comes to Jasmy, again, adoption is going to matter in the long term, but I think in the next 6 months to a year, I don't see why $1 would be that crazy. Now, the growth could hypothetically be exponential, though, in my opinion, because Jasmy, as of right now, hasn't even reached the price of let's say 20 cents, right? Let alone even 10 cents. But I'm just saying, let's say it reaches 25 cents. At that point, 50 cents, it's going to seem like a 2x away, which it is a 2x away at that point. But that's just a psychological, barrier that sometimes people have to cross. They're like, oh, 25 cents. Oh, 50 cents. Now, at that point, at the price of 50 cents, $1 is just 2x away. I mean, caralho, porra. I think at that time, people are like, whoa, this thing is right in the crosshairs, right? This thing is like really within reaching distance. So I think at that point, when people take a look at something like that, they're just like, this is crazy. And we've seen this throughout history, by the way. You take a look at Cardano's native token called ADA, right? At one point, it was hovering at the price of around 3 cents. And then, eventually, it took quite a while, but then it reached the price of $1. That was very difficult, though. But then reaching the price of $2 after that wasn't that difficult, and even beyond, because, again, people crossed that psychological barrier where they saw, wow, ADA could actually go to the price of $1. So they're like, whoa, okay, $2 now, $3. Now, Jasmy, I don't think can reach the price of like $2 or $3 during this bull run, hypothetically, because I think that's a little bit too high, but still $1. I don't see why not $1.50 as like a most bullish case scenario. I don't see why that'd be too crazy, because here's the thing. Even Charles Hoskinson, who, by the way, is not only the co-founder of Ethereum, but the founder of Cardano, on a video on November 26, he stated how in the next year to 2 years, he could very well see Bitcoin reaching the price of either $250,000 up to $500,000. So can you imagine that? That's $500,000 as a most bullish case. Now, I don't think that could happen, though. That's a little bit too optimistic. But I guess you never know, right, in the world of cryptocurrencies. But still, even as a worst case, $250,000, let's say Bitcoin does reach that Jasmy at the price of $1 at that point, I don't see why not. Maybe even $1.50. Who knows, right? But only time will tell, and that's why I'm staying patient. I've been accumulating Jasmy for quite a while now, but still I'm not giving up. And why would I give up, especially right now? I mean, it looks so amazing. The time to give up would have been like back then, but that would have been a mistake, actually, hypothetically. not financial advice, which is why I didn't do that despite all the negative pressure at that time, because I've always known that anything done under like a high emotional state is typically never a good idea. So I know that even though it was looking very boring for Jasmy back then, the price was so low, I was like, I'm not going to give up, because I've seen time and time again, even Kaka projects like Luna Classic, Litecoin, they even pump like crazy, right? So the way I view it is that I just didn't see why Jasmy wouldn't do the same. Keep in mind, the market that Jasmy is focused on isn't the smallest either. Even though data storage may seem like a Kaka market, it is predicted to be worth nearly $800 billion in size, right? By 2030, according to Fortune Business Insights. So that's crazy right there. At least that's the way to take a look at it. Not to mention, Jasmy is in a space where it really doesn't have that much attention, to the point that the competitors really aren't that many. There's Filecoin, there's Arweave, there's Siacoin, there's Storage. But really beyond that, you don't really see that many. Why is that? It's because, again, this market is like so niche to the point that there really isn't that many good competitors. So as of right now, when we're seeing a lot of attention start to enter, I would say, we're seeing something like Jasmy just go along with the ride in a massive way, which is why, again, I'm staying patient. Many people even call Jasmy the Bitcoin of Japan. Why is that? It's because it's the first ever legally compliant cryptocurrency, again, in Japan. So that right there, I think, is just the cherry on top, I would say, when it comes to Jasmy, because, come on, right? You have something that's is a legally compliant cryptocurrency in the country of Japan. Also on top of that, it's focused on the right market. Amazing leadership, right? Leadership, its team, I would say, is filled with many individuals who've worked at places like KPMG and as well as Sony. So that's amazing. KPMG, by the way, is one of the big four accounting firms. If you know, you know. But yeah, even besides that point, also not to mention, Jasmy has great exposure. It's listed at a bunch of major exchanges. I'm not saying it's the best though, but still, this is enough in my opinion, or should I say, well, more than enough for Jasmy to hypothetically do well during a fully fledged bull run, because of course, exposure is needed and Jasmy has that covered. Now, it's not the best, but it's good enough in my opinion. And still, again, $1 for Jasmy is still my price target for this bull run, because when you have over 600 million crypto owners, according to Crypto.com research, which is more than ever before in history, by the way, I just don't see why this bull run would be bad at all. Especially as of right now, take a look at how well Bitcoin's doing. Take a look at the Bitcoin ETF, the Ethereum ETF. I mean, caralho, porra. This bull run could be so amazing, but it's just a waiting game at this point, and I've been waiting this long anyways. So let's say waiting until, let's say maybe even near the end of 2025. Why not? It is what it is. I'm going to still stay patient. I'm going to still acquire more Jasmy, because I still believe the room for growth is still there. Because again, keep in mind, $1 is still around a 20x from here. Or should I say around a 19x to be a little bit more specific, but that's still not bad. Yeah, sure. I acquired Jasmy when it was way lower, but considering how much Jasmy has pumped, doing an additional, let's say 19x from here, it doesn't seem so caca in my opinion, which is why I'm still staying patient at $1. That's still my price target for this bull run. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.